Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay. First, we're going to start with Dasher, and then we're going to go to Jed.
All right, Coach. The way Ryan was kind of rolling along, just how much of a relief was it when Fernando jumped on that pitch and put it over the right field fence?
Well, the real relief was that I didn't make the decision to pinch hit for him because I almost did. Garrett Spikes was on my tongue to say, hey, go get it back, because Barnett has a lot of success against right-handed hitters. It's 95, 96 with a good breaking ball, and it's tough on righties, and lefties have a lot more success. So that's, my dad would call that outthinking yourself. I almost outthought myself and I did it two different times. When he was on deck, I almost told Spikes to get a bat, and I didn't. And then when Corey walked, I almost called Fernando back. I mean, I was ready to do it and get Spikes in there to be left on right. And then I just didn't do it. Sixth inning, Fernando was catching really well. I didn't want to do it that early. So I decided not to. And again, I didn't outthink myself. I let it happen. And Fernando, rewarded me for letting him stay in there.
Ryan only threw like 63, 64 pitches. I mean, what was the reason for taking him out so early?
His back tightened up a little bit, just a little back spasm. It started in the fourth, and it just felt a little uncomfortable. But obviously, he could have gone back out there, and we just made the decision. Let's get him out. We got an extra day. Next week, we go back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we just made the decision to get him out of there. And he didn't argue. He kind of went, yeah. So he's getting treatment. Nothing we're real concerned about, but just some lower back spasm. It just didn't feel right. And we didn't want him, all of a sudden trying to throw away from pain or, changing the arm slot. So we just got him out of there while he was still in good shape. And we knew it was in good hands with Benny Harris.
And just real quick on Josh McAllister, any update on him?
He's better. He was itching to be on the roster. So he talked me into it. So he is on the roster for the weekend. We'll see. He's going to need to take batting practice. He talked about being able to hit maybe on Saturday, but he's going to have to take BP first to show he can do it. So he feels better today. And now I was encouraged. I mean, when I told him he wasn't on the roster, he gave me that look. He was disappointed and upset. And right before I went out to home plate, I actually crossed off a name and put Josh on just in case. So he is on the roster, which is encouraging.
Thanks.
Yeah, Coach, that sixth inning there, obviously, that's when y'all push the runs across. I noticed the guys clapping along to a song during the pitch and change there. Was that another one of those things where I guess you wanted the guys to, I guess, generate some more energy in the dugout than they'd been showing in the first few innings?
That was all them. That was boredom in the dugout, them trying to get things going. So, yeah, I mean, it's great when you've got guys in the dugout pulling for each other and having some fun. And it should be a fun game, even though it's stressful sometimes. But, yeah, it's just the guys in the dugout trying to get things going and having a little bit of fun.
And, on the decision to not pinch hit for Fernando there, is that one of those things that, just one of those times in baseball where you've just got to go with your gut feeling instead of, necessarily what the numbers say?
Well, my original gut was to pinch hit him. And I'm glad I did. And again, it's just going back to outthinking yourself. And ultimately I made this. Fernando was catching so well. It was still early in the game. And and we've got great catching. We've got great backup catching. But any catcher will tell you, me as a catcher, if I come off the bench and I'm not fresh, it's different than being in the game and sweating. So ultimately I made the decision to leave him in because of that, because he was playing so well defensively. The reason why I was going to pinch hit for him is, first of all, Barnett's really tough on righties. Fernando, leads our team in grounding into double plays. He's grounded into several double plays, and he's not a great runner. He's a catcher. So that was the thought. And Garrett Spikes is a fastball hitter and hits for a lot of power. And that's what I was going to do, and I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, next we're going to go to Davis, and then we're going to go to Ramin, and we'll finish up with Catherine.
Coach, obviously every game is important, but after losing the openers to both Kentucky and Missouri, was there extra emphasis on going up 1-0 in this series?
For me, it was just about Ryan Webb getting a great start. He's just been okay the last 2 weeks. He's been fine. He was obviously lights out at Vanderbilt, and, we've had chances to win when he pitched, but that was the thing that, Coach Kenny kind of challenged him a little bit is, hey, man, you're a Friday night guy. Go out there and get a win. And I'm glad we scored the runs in the bottom of the sixth to give him that win because he deserved it. But that was more than anything. Just set the tone. We're at home. We need to win a home series again. This will be our second home series if we can win this in the league. And so that was the message. Let's go get it. We're at home, and we need to set the tone opening night.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I want to take you back to the bottom of the fifth. Chain, you reached on that double to the left field corner. He got on second, no outs. And then you had Parks and Ben up there. Did you ever think about bunting?
Well, if you bunt Parks, you're bunting to Benny, who was struggling with the left on left. So that's why we didn't bunt there. And Parks does a good job of hitting the ball the other way. So we wanted to have 3 shots of driving that run in. Parks Harbor has, I don't know if he's laid a bunt down for us this year. I don't have the stats in front of me if he does have a sacrifice bunt, but I can promise you at Westminster High School, Parks Harbor has never bunted in his life because he hits home runs. So that's the reason why, just where we were in the order. Parks is a pretty good bunter, but he hasn't done it in a game. He hits the ball the other way well. And you know what? And that's what I told him when he came into the dugout is your approach has to be to hit the ball the other way. And he got out in front of a changeup. So that's Jack Owen being the veteran. And, he kind of outpitched the hitter there. And Parks just has to have a better approach and learn from it. But we just wanted 3 shots of getting an RBI. And instead of trying to bunt him over, and Benny was scuffling a little bit left on left. So, we just wanted 3 shots at the RBI.
And then I do also want to ask you about Ben. He went 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. Let me ask you, who would be next up to play in the outfield if you were to make a change?
Well, Brandon Jernigan's got a lot of experience, but, we have a lot of faith in Ben. We might have to look at the left on left. The left on left is bothering Ben for whatever reason. And so that might be something that we make a decision on. But we've got a righty going tomorrow in Fitz that, lefties have, pretty good swings off of them compared to the righties. And but you got Brandon Jernigan, Josh Stinson too. You got those 2 guys that can really run it down in center, and they work hard and they make it an opportunity. And that's kind of the mentality we've had is next man up. Garrett Blaylock is proof of that. He sat for 3 weeks, didn't sniff. I don't think he played in a game for 3 weeks. And now he's lighting it up. So just got to be ready to go, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Coach. So as we've already said, Webb pitched much better tonight than his last couple starts. So what was the emphasis and the goal in practice this week?
Well, with Ryan in his bullpen session was just being able to locate his fastball. And, the change up and the breaking ball, they're as good as anybody in the country, especially from the left side. But he just was spraying his fastball a little bit, wasn't throwing inside fastballs enough to righties, wasn't getting it in there. And when you can throw an inside fastball from the left side, and that's what Jack Owen was having success with, he was able to throw inside fastballs, and then that makes hitters speed up. And when you make hitters speed up, then you can throw changeups and breaking balls to them. And that's what Ryan had success with tonight. That fastball was really good. They had to cheat a little bit to get to 93, 94. And the changeup and breaking ball, that's what's going to get him to the big leagues. And he was able to utilize all 3 pitches.
And what can you say about your team's performance overall at the plate tonight as they faced a solid veteran Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, Jack Owen, that's CJ Smith. We actually told our players, hey, we're going to see CJ Smith. He's not going to throw 95, but it's going to be 87, 89, good changeup, good breaking ball, and just a veteran presence. And that's what CJ brings to us when he's on the mound. So our guys kind of knew what to expect. They watched a lot of film of him. And, we got the guys in scoring position. It was a little frustrating to get some guys at second base and not being able to move them over, not being able to get them in. We don't get a bunt. It's first and second, nobody out. We don't get a bunt down. And it looks like, oh, no, here we go again. And Corey Collins had a great at bat to walk. And then Fernando, one swing of the bat can change a baseball game. And that's what's so great about this game. One pitch, one swing can change it.
Okay, that's all for tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Congrats
guys.
on the win.
Thank you.